honestly, like, I should have been happy today. Like, at least like I should have stayed happy. I just watched Deadpool 3 like for the second time and like not really just, but today I did, but like I guess the first time was more effective because like well, I just my mental health issues went off in the middle of well, not exactly went off. It just felt randomly horrible. It just happens sometimes. It just I was going, and it got me thinking. I was going through something really bad when I was watching the Sun and Moon show, and like, I just I saw Moon as an abuse victim before, or he well the bad thing happened, and like you don't really know what people are going through when stuff like etc. And like I saw him as an abuse victim because, well, it just like the stuff Sun done is more subtle. It just reminded me of how my brother treated me. Like, oh, just because he was like more accepted by my family, just because he was perceived it with as more sympathetic, he just got away with hurting me and like, well, yeah. Maybe I should not be sharing this much online, but like, well, and then I see the same shit that what shit happening to me. That oh yeah, just because of Sun, just the stuff Sun does is just because of his attitude. The stuff Sun does is completely ignored, and just this experience that like my brother's behavior getting excused, and then to see son doing that, getting the same damn thing happen. It just was it's very triggering. I kept watching it because I just felt like I just would it would have been catharsis to just see an abuser who acted like that, who just gets liked by everybody else, which BTW it's how often or not statistically how abusers actually are. Most of the time they get away with it because they're just generally more liked and like and then like and what they did just because the damn fan base was flooding it. Like honestly, there's too much indication the opposite way for Moon not to be the victim. Like most like just like he was stuck in his head. I mean if he wasn't stuck in his it's just like when I found out he was stuck in his head, it just like it really put context behind Einstein's actions because like all the son son basically forced me all the previous is a lot of the previous gaming episodes is it was generally indicated that like Moon didn't actually want to do childcare. Moon hated children. He just that most of the time when like when Moon threatened Sun with a wagging stick, Sun had previously been harassing him like it's previously been referencing like also the first time he ever threatened him, what Sun said was like it's just like he just accused him of just doing things without reason, without thought or reason. Like you think that's a good thing to to tell that to someone who's literally literally got out of your head, like who was in complete sensory isolation, and like don't think. And honestly, I call complete bullshit on Sun not knowing because like I never saw him as dumb. I felt like he absolutely knew. I felt like he like the dude understands so many children. The dude runs an entire childcare. He is not emotionally unintelligent. He could get this dude if he could get so many children, he can get this dude he was literally sharing his own mind with. As far as I was concerned, he absolutely knew all of Moon's suffering, and yet he chose to just complain about him. He just like it annoys me because like he could have. I felt like he did nothing to help him. he didn't even, it was very apparent that he didn't even talk to him. Like, if he just, it's why it's just like, I refuse to have any fucking sympathy for Sun when, like, he didn't, did nothing to help him at all. And, like, and then Eclipse comes up, and, like, it was very apparent, that Moon did that about our desperation, and, like, it's like Sun knew Moon's suffering. He knew that Moon would just, that, like, Moon did not actually, he knew that Moon was genuinely trying to help himself, and, like, that was just him trying, that it was an act, like, it's just like, and just like, it just, it was an accident. You know, it just like that's what people do, completely ignore. Eclipse was a straight up was an accident, and like Moon just did, and Moon got all the blame. Moon constantly got talked about it was fully his fault when, like, if Sun didn't keep Moon in its, if Sun didn't keep Moon in his head, if Sun actually talked to his brother and just, like, and didn't hurt, like, it's very, and, like, it's just like I see hints that, like, he was basically harassing him because, like, in his own head, because, like, his son was just straight up harassing it as soon as he got out of it. Like, I say he was actually forcing him to do slave labor because, like, Moon didn't have a choice on whether he actually wanted to take care of children or not. Because Sun, like, if he went away from Sun, then, like, he would just end up he would have just end up in a killing spree. So, like, it was very and he obviously didn't want to take care of the kids. So, and it was obvious that Sun was basically forcing him to, and, like, and then Sun came out of it looking sympathetic, and, like, I just don't really get it. Like, just it's just like my own brother. He just got like. Honestly, I just don't get it. Just, like, the amount of times everyone just defended him. The amount of faultless bullshit they used to defend Sun with, like, they're just ignoring basic fact, just general indication of, like, how Sun actually acted. And Moon is, like, at one time it was generally indicated, like, the Moon, it was generally, like, Moon actually said he actually felt pain whenever they went in for repairs, and, like, oh yeah, no one gives a shit about the implication that Moon was basically had to feel himself being torn to pieces. Like, no one gives a shit about that, and yet oh yeah, they just this is it's just like I got constantly asked, "Oh, do we watch Turn? Oh, you're watching the same show? Honestly, are you actually watching it? Is this most of this fan base actually watching it? It's just like a lot. There'd be more hints to Moon being hurt than Sun. Sun. It's just like you talk about the whacking, like this. Overall, everyone says about it's a whacking that there was just thing. But most of the time, it's just seeing general indications of Moon just having a horrible last life. It's just like you think he's just been doing those random as illegal jobs for no reason. It was pretty obvious to me that, like, he had money props, or maybe he had just problem accessing his money due to being seen as an alternate personality, and, like, it's just like they have a shared bank account. They were considered the same person. So, like, it's just like Sun, and it's just like I only saw that Moon was basically, and the only one I actually saw, like, Sun was just given the daycare by default. It's just like it's not something that, as far as I'm concerned, he didn't really, not getting the daycare was pre-programmed in. Moon actually went, like, it just like the daycare was a default thing, and like it was just, well, Sun just doesn't understand how privileged it being in. Like it's just like the. It's just like, oh yeah, they say he says being, oh, doing all his job at the daycare is such a bad thing when like but he's always viewed as a good person. He's given a bunch of positive stereotypes in his favor just for being a child. Okay, well, he's automatically assumed to be kind and good, and like just on the basis on that, and like it's just like the fact that like in most early show, like okay, I'm actually building up. I'm actually building up a list of the stuff that Sun that Sun ever did, and the things that indicate Moon has a horrible. This how bad Moon's life is actually more horrible. So I'm just like, I just feel like they've all feel like they just due to how the fan admit that they completely abandoned the prior route of the show, and I hate it because it was not actually written that way originally. I really liked what its old story was built up to, and because of that, there has been a bunch of contradictions and a bunch of. I feel like that's where the problems in the writing come from, because like Sun was never a good cat. Is never supposed to be a good person. And like now that Moon's back, I'm just hoping that Sun would actually be depicted as bad more. But of course, due to him being seen as so-called traumatized, him this fan base, whatever bad stuff he does to Moon would probably this fan base will probably think Moon deserved. So you know what? Maybe I should not put this online. Like, maybe I should not be mentioning my brother, but like, I like, I got bad mental health issues because of what he did to me. You know what? Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna go now. Thank you. Bye.